For the past 40 years, the Ford F-Series has been the #1 selling pickup in America. In fact, for the past 3 decades, it's been the #1 selling vehicle, bar none. SUVs, cars, whatever, it's been #1. So for some of you, you've never lived in a world where the Ford F-150, 250, 350, 450, etc. wasn't the king of automotive sales. So it was a huge deal when Ford introduced the F-150 Lightning, an all-electric pickup. An even bigger deal when it decided to do fleet sales. In fact, the F-150, F-250, all the F-Series, if you look around while you're driving, your plumber, the contractor, landscaper, almost everyone is using some sort of pickup truck, and a lot of times it is a Ford F-Series. Well, now those fleet sales can be electric. While it's a bit too early for Ford to let us behind the wheel of the F-150 Lightning, it's still a prototype. This is a prototype. It's not 100% ready for, well, general use. They did offer us a chance to do a ride-along. With a starting price of $40,000, the Pro version of the EV F-150 is the least expensive version of the pickup. It's a dual motor 4x4, and the automaker is targeting 426 horsepower and 230 miles of range. Well, there will also be an extended range version that starts at $50,000, has 300 miles of range, and is expected to have 563 horsepower. So we're in the regular base level $40,000 variant. We're not in the extended range one. And I believe we're about to go flying up a hill. So
we are.
Let's.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Let us, how they say, do this. Oh wow. So if you have a vineyard and you're out in the middle of nowhere and you want to do that, go for it, because you can with the F-150 Lightning. This is wow. I mean, you have the EV torque is something we're all sort of used to, but with this, you also get the feeling of F-150. I don't get, obviously I'm not driving, but you still, as being a passenger or someone who's driven a bunch of F-150s, it feels like an F-150, except you have independent rear suspension. Now we're gonna do some off-roading.
Just a little.
It's a little slight off-road, just a dirt road that you would drive up to visit your friend who, hates the government.
So I want to demonstrate the one pedal drive as we go down the hill, if that's all right.
Cool. It also has a one pedal drive. Right now we're on a hill, one pedal system, and we've stopped. This is we have a nice incline. So if you happen to live in, say, San Francisco, or maybe you have a vineyard or just anything else with a hill, take your foot off the accelerator and it will come to a stop, which is nice because you're regenerating all that power back to the battery pack. Let's stop on this really steep part. Oh.
It says 0.
That's pretty good. This is San Francisco level hill, and it stopped and held. Overall, in our short drive, off-road, up a hill, down a hill, one pedal driving, everything seemed to work just fine. Yeah, it'll be interesting when we have a chance to get behind the wheel of the consumer variant of the F-150 Lightning. Inside you have it looks like just a regular Ford F-150. It even has a little change thing. You can put your little change here in this little, change balcony, I suppose. But it also has a 12-inch screen that runs sync for the usual infotainment system. You can do your media, your phone calls, your navigation, all the regular infotainment stuff. But it also has integration into Ford Telematics, which is Ford's fleet tracking software. So if you're a business owner and you have, let's say, 12 of these, you can, at a glance via a web app, you can look at the range, the maintenance, how often people are idling, where they're driving, if they have enough range to get to where they're going, how it's charging. You can find all that information about all these vehicles in one spot. And if you are a fleet boss, that is outstanding bits of data if you're trying to run an efficient fleet. The state of charge is also tracked by the vehicle's intelligent range system. Using destination, weather, terrain, load, weight, and other factors, it attempts to determine if the truck can make it to where it needs to go or if it needs to stop and charge, and will give the driver a heads up to charging stations along its route. Like the regular Ford F-150, while it's stopped, it's also important what the vehicle can accomplish. Let's say you need power outlets. This vehicle has 6. It has a lot of power outlets. There are 2 in the MegaPower Frunk, there are 2 in the cabin, and there are 2 back here in the bed. Overall, you get 2.4 kilowatts of power out of these outlets. And if you decide to opt for the extended range version of the F-150 Lightning, you get 2 more outlets in the bed. You get another 120 and you get a 240. So you can power, well, everything. And of course, up here we have to talk about the MegaPower Frunk. Now that may sound like a name that was dreamed up by an anime or an 8-year-old, but it's actually pretty apt. The Frunk on this vehicle has 14.1 cubic cargo feet of space. That's a lot of space, and it'll hold 400 pounds of, well, whatever, cement, mulch, rocks, fish, I guess. I don't know, whatever's heavy in your life, you can throw it up here in the Frunk. Deer, there you go, deer, just cram it in there. And what's great is that, especially for fleet customers, it just looks and works like a truck. It doesn't look like aliens designed it and just dropped it off in the middle of the desert. It has the usual 5.5 foot bed. It doesn't have any sort of weird flying buttresses, you know, that sort of block you from, well, just tossing things over the side. And as an upgrade from the gas vehicle, it has rear independent suspension. Now that's to help deal with the extra heft of the batteries, but the side effect is that you'll probably get a smoother ride in the F-150 Lightning than you will in the regular F-150. Now this is a prototype of the fleet version of the vehicle, but hopefully soon Ford will get us behind the wheel of the consumer version of this truck, which hopefully will happen sometime this spring or summer. For more automotive coverage, be sure to subscribe to Engadget.